time I had cancer, I cried for about 30 minutes and I was over it. The second time I was diagnosed with cancer, I cried for about 10 minutes and I was over it. About halfway through that, I got grumpy. I wasn't mean, I wasn't hateful, I was grumpy. This time, and I haven't even started treatments, I am just angry. I'm stressed and I'm angry and it's like I do not take my anger out on anybody or anything. I got a puppy at home that I never intended to keep, but he's there now and he's been there long enough, he's not going anywhere. But puppies are puppies and they do puppy things. And when he does something and I feel that I'm going to get mad, I walk away. I think I told y'all, I can't remember, last Monday or this Monday when I went to the oncologist, that's when I knew he was going to confirm what I already knew, but just hearing the doctor say it, I don't know how to explain it. I just knew that's what he was going to tell me. My appointment was at 8:50. I was the first one through that door. There was nobody else in that lobby. There was nobody behind the desk. Another lady came in and was standing in line behind me. Somebody came out and says, "We're in a meeting. Y'all go ahead and have a seat and we'll call y'all when we get back." Okay, fine. So then all these other people started showing up and they lined up and we kept telling them, "Y'all, you're supposed to sit down. They're in a meeting. When they get out, they'll come out and get us." So when they got out of this meeting, rather than telling the people, we need to call the people who were here first, they started with the person who was in line first, got all of those other people registered and sat down, then called me and that other lady up to register us. Mind you, I was there first. My appointment was at 8:50. I got there at 8:40. Okay? And then they started calling all these people they registered before me. And I was like, okay. And I felt myself getting madder and madder. Finally, they called the lady who came in after me. And that's when I went and said, "Look, y'all are..." I don't remember what I said, but I plainly told them, I don't understand why I'm still waiting when all these other people got here after me, but because of the jacked up way y'all call people, y'all don't call people in order, y'all don't register people in order. And she kept saying, "We take them in order of their appointments." I said, "Well, how can you be taking them in order of their appointments if they're supposed to be here at 8:30 and they don't get here till 9 o'clock? My appointment was at 8:50 and I have to wait and I was here on time." Now, how was that right? I was just not the nicest person. And then, "Well, you're next." And she looked at me and she said, "You're next. You'll be the next one called." What did they do? They called somebody else. And I went up there and I said, "You told me I was next. I wasn't next. Don't lie to me and tell me I'm next when I'm not next, or you really will hear me throwing a royal fit in the middle of this waiting room. Because what y'all are doing is not right." Finally, they called me back there. And the practice manager came and said that she heard that I wasn't happy. I said, "No, because what y'all have done is not right in any way." And I went over with her each detail. I was the first one there. There was nobody else in the lobby. Then y'all tell me y'all are taking people whose appointments were at 8:30, and I was here before them. Their appointments were at 8:30, and they didn't get there till 9 o'clock. Now, how is that the right way to do it? And she said, "Well, I'm really, really sorry that you had to deal with that, and I will work on making it better." I said, "Y'all need some kind of process to get people in the order they come in." I said, "The other thing you need to understand, yes, their appointment is at 8:30, but if they don't get there till 9, how they were on time and the other people weren't. That's not me. That is just not the person I am at all. And it was because I was so stressed out because I knew he was going to confirm, like I said, what I already knew. But hearing it come from him, it just had me stressed out. Once he said it, I was fine. I was perfectly fine once he said it. But leading up to the point of him saying it, I was a mess. And for about 3 days, I was actually in a good mood. But it doesn't take much to make me mad. And I don't like being mad all the time. I don't like being the type of person who just snaps at somebody because they say something stupid. Because we all know people are stupid. They are. No matter what anybody says, people are stupid. That is my favorite saying. When people do things that are as plain as the nose on your face, oh, well, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, you did. And I have proof. Right here's the email. Okay, that's something else. Anyway, that's what I've been going through this time. And I feel like it's time for me to get some counseling. You know, I've not had any counseling through any of this. But this time, with the anger that I have inside of my body, inside of my heart, I need to do something. You know, I don't want to be alone the rest of my life. I'm willing to accept that that's probably what's going to happen. But I need to deal with the anger I have. And to be honest, I don't know how much of the anger I have is from this cancer, and how much of the anger I have is from what I went through the last 2 months of my last relationship. You know, it's a lot. What he did the last 2 months we were together was a lot. I will say, I ended it. And I had to end it by getting the police to get him out. And, you know, on the weekend, he showed up one day, just out of the blue. He was not supposed to just show up. He was not allowed at the house without the police, and he just showed up. Just as I was getting to the point when I was going to try to get back in church and start getting out more on the weekends and doing things, he showed up. I had to call the police because he swore he had just as much right to be there as anybody. No, you don't. And, you know, it just brought back all that fear. He wants to get his hands on my little Pomeranian, my little boy. My ride or die that I showed y'all in the other video. And I know from the depths of my soul, he wants to get his hands on Oscar so he can kill him to get even with me for something in his demented, twisted little mind I did to him. When all I did was love him unconditionally until he became a lunatic, and I got cancer. That second time around, he couldn't handle it, and when he was ready for it to be over, the way he handled it, it got him put out of the house by the cops. And, you know, I don't know. I know that he never would work. He had one job that he liked, and he got fired from it. And if and only if I can believe what he says, it was for he did not get fired for a legitimate reason, if I can believe what he says. But at this point, I don't know that I could ever believe anything. I don't know that he ever cared about me. I don't know. But See, this is what I'm saying. Because y'all don't know all the details behind it. And then third time having cancer, I'm just so full of anger. And I don't know what to do. So, because of all of this, I am going to get some counseling. I definitely don't need it to interfere with my job. There's enough going on there as it is. And, I don't know. It's been a very stressful, 2021. We moved down here March 18th of 2021, and the last Friday in April was the day that I had him put out, because the last Thursday in April was when he pushed me to where I was not taking it anymore. I just couldn't. And then I spent that Friday getting the protective order, and I had to get up. At the time, I only had 2 dogs, and all I could do was hope and pray he wouldn't put the cats out, because I took the dogs with me. Took them to the vets, and they put them in the kennel, and they knew something was up. The vet's office did. And by 12 o'clock, I think it was, I had everything in order. I had been issued the protective order. In the state of Georgia, what happens is you get a temporary protective order, and within 30 days, you have to go back to court. So we did all that. We did the temporary protective order, and that's what happened on that Friday. And then within the next week or two, I had to go back to court for the long term. And you can only do a year, but after, during that year, you can request it to be made either permanent or 3 years. And I tried, and the judge, it started out in the county that I live in, because that's where he lived, I lived, all that good stuff at the time. But then when he moved back to Monroe to live with his brother, to which he still lives there almost 2 years later, it is what it is. See, this is what I mean. I get that on my mind, and I get the cancer on my mind, and I just get mad and angry, and I need to get past this, or I'm never going to have a normal life again. All right, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going to get off of here.